Hello and welcome to the Miniature Showcase. Today we're going to have a look at a miniature from Heresy Miniatures. Now this miniature was a limited edition release, so I don't think it's available anymore. Heresy called this miniature the Hurn Hunter. Now this figure is not to be confused with the extraterrestrial specimen of aliens whom with technology and skill trophy hunt other species for sport. However, for the purpose of painting this figure, I use the extraterrestrial specimen of aliens whom with technology and skill trophy hunt other species for sport as a reference. Now let's have a look at what I got when I received this figure from Itako's Bane as a gift many years ago. And here are the pieces all laid out. Let's take a closer look. The main figure is the torso, and as you can see, there's a fair amount of detail on it. The figure was casted in metal, and I like how the small details like trophy on the belt and the face was nicely worked on. The muscle sculpt though is very nice. So I think when I paint this, I would like to show the muscle sculpts. So I think maybe I'll use a lighter palette for the skin. Now next we see that the figure comes with wrist blades, which are both sheathed and unsheathed. So it offers some options to the modeler, and both left and right as well. The weapon sprue is also available at full extension and at closed. This is great because again, options. There's also a fist sprue, again with options. And finally, a blaster mechanism that will probably be mounted on the backpack of the figure. Now putting together this figure was simple enough once you've decided which combination you want. And for this, I used some super glue. There, done. The figure looks quite dynamic and ready for action. I love how chunky the figure is. There's a lot to like about chunky metal figures as they feel great when you pick them up from the table. I had to figure out how the backpack mounted blaster was supposed to be fitted, but honestly that didn't take very long. I gave the figure a grey primer. When I first started priming all my figures, I primed them all white, and then not long after that I primed them all black. These days I use a lot of different color primers because the undercolor helps the overall paint job. I chose grey for this one because I did not want such a dark figure, and I wanted to see the details when I'm painting them. I then used Army Painter's Tan Flash as the base for the figure's base skin color. The goal was to feature the muscle sculpt, so went for a brighter skin tone. Painting the figure didn't really take long. Most of the references I had to choose from recommended a dark color scheme, but I went with something much brighter. In fact, I did not want such a dark figure because I wanted this figure to stand out on the table. This was such a great figure to paint. I think if you're in the wargaming hobby, figures like these are so essential. Not only does it offer new alternatives to figures that you have for the games that you play, but it's also a good distraction to paint. Well, painting something different, and not be held down by established fluff and background and color schemes. Painting something different always helps clean the palette before going back to the army you're currently building. I like how similar it is to the extraterrestrial specimen of aliens whom with technology and skill trophy hunt other species for sport. So it's even simpler to drop it into an RPG or even a war game, because all you need to do is just find a figure with a similar profile or a similar look, and this will probably work. Finally, it's also great to support small companies who they do this passionately, and why not? So that's it for this video. Let me know if you've heard of Heresy Miniatures and which of their sculpts that you like. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and don't forget to enjoy painting those figures.